you guys. It's me, Dr. Torie. My book is officially out. And yes, it is time to talk about ACEs. You guys can find the books everywhere. However, I would encourage you guys to go to my website, VicTORIEus.com, and place your order today. Yes, it's time to talk about ACEs. Let's go, y'all. Hello, 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 you guys. We are here for another episode of Be Victorious. You know who I am. It's Dr. Torie. Now, let me share. This guest that I have here holds a special place in my heart. We've been doing this for a while. We're talking about ACEs. And what I love about Jorge is that he knows. I love that we interact professionally. He is an airline stewardess for one of my favorite airlines. I won't say the name, I'll let him do that. Jorge, where are you?
Wow. Thank you. That was beautiful.
You're so amazing to me. What people have to understand is there's nothing bad about social media. Social media is an amazing place if you allow it to be. And that's where we met. And I think it's the genuine understanding of learning about ACEs that I admire about you because I've watched you grow, if that makes sense. To see how you are and the fact that when we first met, it was like, oh my God, I have it. And now you're willing to share your story. This is what everyone wants and everyone needs. And so I'm happy that you're here. Hey, Jorge.
Oh, well, thank you for that introduction. And I'm a huge, huge admirer and fan of yours and following you and understanding ACEs, first of all, because I had no idea about ACEs. And I was a level 7
Mhm.
with a lot of childhood trauma, which led into a lot of adulthood trauma and unsuccessful relationships with self first.
Mhm.
Um, of the insecurities, the sabotaging, and my addictions that I had to face. But without any of that, I would not be here speaking to you. So thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
I'm just happy that you're accepting the challenge. We've done some things. You've actually done some podcasts. You've actually shared your story. So I want to give you your flowers now because there are people out here that are not. And so let's talk about your story, shall we?
Sure, sure. Well, it's going to go, pretty as a child. I am a survivor of physical abuse, sexual abuse, abandonment. You know, um, a lot of childhood trauma, which led into a life of promiscuous and drug abuse as well. So I'm also now going on 5 years of being clean from crystal meth, which is methamphetamines. And with those, I knew I had hit rock bottom. I was had 2 failed relationships, and all just to try to be loved and accepted, and a lot of struggles that came with my childhood experiences. And I had hit rock bottom because I tried intravenous drugs, and that's when I knew that I had just hit an all-time low. I knew that I couldn't go any lower. All those things that I had said I would never do, I ended up doing. And just an empty vessel of pain, of quick, sexual relationships, and just trying to be loved somehow, and even for just a moment. So I ended up being hospitalized over Christmas after trying to what they call shooting up. And I tried it and ended up in a hospital for over 7 days. But that was actually the clearest I have ever been. That was the clearest mentally. I was still in a hospital where with my own thoughts and listening to other people, listening to the people. I was on the drug floor So listening to the screams and the violence of other people who are, I don't want to say worse than me. We're on the same floor, so we're all equal. We're all struggling a battle that was far beyond us. And had my sister come, I'd lost already a brother. I'd already lost, I've had so much pain in my life that causing more pain into my family was probably the hardest part. Like them seeing me in bed in a hospital, not knowing what are you doing with your life? You live alone in New York City. So now this is pre-COVID and COVID hit, and I knew I needed to make some changes. So I'm going to go on to these changes that were inspirational for me because I'm a flight attendant and I've been a functioning addict for such a long time. And I've been getting away with it for a long time, feeling invincible and almost to a point of like, ha ha ha, I have a union to support me and a union that will give me my job back. But when I did almost lose my job, that's when I realized, dude, get your shit together, you know, get your shit together. Sorry about the language, but get it together. And so COVID happened, and my company offered 2 years leave of absence from flying without any penalties. So I knew that I needed to leave New York. So I decided to sell everything. I sold everything and just packed it. I got a job opportunity from a friend and I became a live-in nanny. So now I am leaving ungrounded to a grounded stability of a family, 2 kids, 9 and 10 years old. And they know me. So first of all, I have to share that, she's one of my best friends, and these are her children, and it's giving me the opportunity to spend time with my best friend and her children for 2 years. So that's when Jay Shetty came into my life, which I decided to go that route with yoga, Jay Shetty, just a lot of inner work, breath work, and actually speaking to a life coach to get myself to a point where holding myself accountable for my actions. And so gradually, healing the inner child, letting the child know that that child is safe, that little boy was not at fault for all the things that were put upon him, and doing some meditative work that way with a life coach that I had named Claudia Marcus. And she laid me down and had me go so far into this meditative state that went into the womb and seeing myself in there and healing that little baby and just lifting that little child up and let them know that that child is safe now, because we all have that little child still inside of us. That broken, hurtful child is still inside of us, and we have to always make sure that they know that they are safe, even when we fuck up. Sorry, even when we mess up, you know even when we mess up, and find some grace with ourselves, because as a child going into adulthood, I didn't start healing myself until my 50s, even though i learned to always read a lot of books about positive energy and things of that sort. So I always had it within me. I just never did the work. I was lazy. It's I was lazy. I read it. I felt inspired for a moment, but then until I hit rock bottom, I dedicated myself to sharing this story now and being more open. This is like the third time I share my story. So, and I was so afraid to come on here again, because as a person with so much trauma, I sabotage myself. I sabotage the good things about me. I don't know sometimes how to win. I just saw the Pope in Rome, and I had all this excitement and I felt so blessed, and he's calling me and God, and then I get home and I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how to accept those wins.
So let me share. You seeing the Pope is what you call a positive
Right.
adverse child experience,
Yes.
because you brought it up. And so instead of worrying about the adverse childhood experiences, brag about it. Let's be clear, we don't get that opportunity. And when we don't get those opportunities, we don't understand how positive it is. How many people have seen the Pope, Jorge?
I know.
You have to use those. Those are the experiences that people are going to say, really? Tell me more. Because they're
Yeah.
not going to say, really, tell me more
Yeah.
about the things that are
Hmm.
first. Because what we don't know and realize is that we all have them. Hasn't seen the Pope, true or false?
True. Very true.
So
Very
let's
true.
focus on that. You know what I mean? Let's
Yes.
focus on the positive things. And let me put a pause in this. You're over 50?
Yeah, I'm 57.
Well, guess what? You're 57. It's
Yeah.
people younger than us that are not even here anymore.
Mm.
You made it.
Right.
Tell this story that
Yes.
I have been helping you share, and it's so good because
Thank
I
you.
can tell you right now, you are not alone at
Yeah.
all. How
Yeah.
many of us have endured sexual abuse that can't even discuss it yet?
Hmm.
And
Yes.
the fact that you understand your seven, you're not saying, "Oh, I got a seven. Oh, the world is over." You're saying, "Yeah, when I took the quiz, it was a seven," and you've been doing something about it.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. I am. And this is what I'm doing. And this is why I'm speaking. And this is why I'm telling my story, because my story matters. And yes, I do. It's so amazing. And I should share these stories more. Maybe I humble myself a little bit more, sometimes like, oh, I don't want to brag about myself, but guess what? I gotta brag.
It's the fact. Let's go back to our positive experience. You Pope. Everybody has not seen the Pope, boy. Hey, let's
That's
be
right.
here. So just that experience within itself are the things that we need to create. What I also love, and let me address it, because of course, this is an educational podcast, and people have, go and they check it out and all of these things. You're definitely going to be used because I like the fact that you broke it down. You know what the traumas were. You understood and accepted it wasn't your fault. You healed your inner child. All of these are wins.
Yeah.
My DJ Khaled.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you're at a stage where understand people don't even take the steps that you've
Mhm.
taken. So all of this is something that I've learned. It's because of ACEs and our childhood trauma and the things that when you have unresolved childhood trauma, that's what happens. But
Yeah.
you said so many positive accolades. You did. I listened. You saw me. I was like,
This is the work. This is the work speaking, and this is the understanding.
but I think that's what I love about you because we've communicated, you've asked questions, we've talked, we've done a lot. And just to see now that we finally got the story, you're sharing the story, watch how much of an impact that you make. Watch.
Yes.
Watch. I cannot wait for you to go and not just tell people to buckle their seatbelts to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
cases because it isn't. There's nothing wrong with it. People have to get rid of the stereotype. They have to get rid of the number. It's just an identifier. It's just an awareness tool. It isn't something that we say, oh my God, I got it. The world is over. No, because now it's 1 in 3, which means if you look to your left and you look to your right, we got 8.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
a thing.
Well, also, I just want to share with you that because of you, I have these conversations about ACEs on the airplane. What we call jump seat therapy. These are just flight attendants. It's always been known that we come to the airplane, we sit down, we meet new people every single time we get to work because there's 28,000 of us. So we have to get to know each other. And a lot of my conversation has been, wholehearted and open. I speak openly. I am no longer living in the shame of the things that I have done because that is just a portion, and that is not who I identify myself as or who I am. You know, I mentally had messed up myself by continuously saying, "Well, you're an addict, you're this." Well, I don't use those titles. I don't. I am me first. I don't use my abuse. I am me first.
Yes.
So going on the jump seat and speaking to all these flight attendants and letting them know, especially about you, first of all, and having them follow you. And, congratulations, this book, on top of that. Yes. And, I I also am letting them know that, there's a quiz we can take, and there's a lot of why we're going through this as flight attendants. We have to take a psychiatric test, and it seems like they weed us out with people who are strong, people who are able to function without others, because we spend so much time alone, away from families. I've been working for the airline for 27 years already. So that's a long time, and I'm still junior, okay? So this is a job where longevity, you could be 78 and still work alongside me,
Right.
you know. So
And
yeah.
I can see it. Can see your growth. Oh my God. I mean, I have tear in my eyes because this is what we need. These are the conversations we need to have. And I'm going to be honest as always. I've always thought that you were amazing. And look at your confidence, or like you don't see it because I do.
Right.
So I feel like ever since you've been a part of the community, just your energy and your excitement is so amazing. So I can see you talking about this, and then somebody saying, "Oh my God, really? This happened?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it makes you normal.
Yeah. It definitely does. I humanize myself. I do, I'm what they call like a bivert. I'm extrovert, but also introvert at the same time, because, I have to be basically on stage as a flight attendant all the time, and super give 100%. I mean, there was a time when I was using that. I wasn't the kindest flight attendant.
Mhm.
Things aggravated me faster. I was a little more confrontational. I was, since, being off, crystal meth, and focusing on the positive energy, I go to work happy,
Mhm.
and I share my happiness with other people, and other people feel it, and so that is my goal. And I think my mission was, make happy go viral. It is possible to find your happiness. We just
Yep.
have to do the work, and it's a forever thing. We have to work on ourselves forever. I am not healed. I am always healing. Continue to heal all the time, because little things pop up, but we know how to handle it differently. We know how to speak to ourselves differently, and understand and sit with sometimes that little pain that we mentally put within ourselves. We do it to ourselves sometimes, but because sometimes we need attention. And but my
Oh
wins
my,
are amazing.
this is the reason why you guys, we need to have this conversation about ACEs. It could really change your life. And this is what Jorge is saying: the before, addressing the inner child, and now.
Yeah.
So let's be clear. If there was anything you needed to share with someone with similar situations, what would you share? What would you tell them?
I would definitely tell them to speak up, to find their voice, to go seek somebody that you feel you can trust, and somebody that is not in your family or your friends. That opinion will always be biased, and it'll always be one-sided from their own personal experience. Go see a professional.
Mhm.
Go seek help. Go seek advice. Listen to, get yourself involved in these rooms, because me getting involved in these rooms is where I met you, and where I got inspired by you, so that I could continue and pick those things instead of watching, following all this. We had so much craziness going on for a while now, with left, right political things of that
Uh-huh.
nature.
Uh-huh.
But, we're not, a lot of us are not supposed to succeed, and here we are succeeding.
Yep. And that's the point. Because I think for me, you all see Dr. Torie, but you don't know my story. Just like people see you, but they
Mm,
don't know the story. See, you're happy, but they don't know why.
you're right. Yes. Yeah, they don't know why, but they know this is what my purpose is now, is to, make sure other people feel that they are included, that they are able to, follow us and get inspired by us and say something. There's a lot of people watching us. So we really definitely have to watch what we do. I am 100% raw and real, because I'm in between my business and myself. And I sometimes don't, they just all cross over, because that is who I am. and
Yeah.
you will see, you will see fragments of who I am in my real life. And this is all possible. I'm fortunate I have a great job with for 27 years. So that just definitely shows another win for me that I never acknowledged before.
Yep. And someone that has seen the Pope.
Yeah. And someone who has seen the Pope, it's like,
Because
and it's, yeah.
why
And
not
Dr.
talk?
Torie, I just got to share, I was so nervous coming on here, but I knew that I shouldn't have. And I maybe took a little too long trying to get this course right for you, and your audience. But, I
These
know
are
that I
all
was,
conversations. This is why so many people have came, because first I believe in God. I believe that there is a safe space that is created for this purpose right here. And
yes.
I don't think the listeners and the readers understand. Yes, we have been talking about this for a
Yeah.
while. And of course you see Dr. Torie and you see me on the in the social media, and I love that y'all love me. I really do. But I'm just like you. I have ACEs too. My ACEs score is a 5, depending on the day. Let's be clear. No, I wasn't um physically abused, but I was emotionally. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like abuse is abuse and abuse isn't okay. So again, no, we don't have the same story. We have similar stories, but that you have to understand. Remember when when I started this podcast, I was like, I'm by myself. Don't nobody know about ACEs. And here we are. Look at our community. You see our community. And what I
Mhm.
love is that we're so supportive of each other. I can't wait for people to see this episode because
Oh,
you know I got you on this podcast sharing your story, and it is so normal and it is so okay. And so you saying, "Oh my God, I was so nervous," and you made me feel so special. That's the safe space that people need to create for people to share their story.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And with that, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I have tons of things I would love to talk about. But the crazy thing is, I think this episode needed to be exactly what it is because of you.
Thank
And I'm saying that because I'm sure there's thousands of people that want to share their story that get nervous.
you. Mhm.
You know what I mean? This is the perfect, perfect episode to say, hey, it's okay. Create your own space, establish your own healing, understand your ACEs, do what you need to do for you, prioritize yourself. And one of the wonderful things you said, because we worry about family so much,
Mhm.
do you know? I have family members tell me the book is out. Ain't nothing y'all can do now. I heard you was talking about us. I am. I'm talking about everybody. So don't
Mhm.
get offended. Don't let your guilty conscience affect the
Yeah.
fact that the book is out. But
Yeah.
start your healing journey.
Yes. Start now. Start today. Yes, definitely. Thank you. That was so beautiful to listen to always.
So I'm actually going to, we're actually going to end, and we're going to end because if you all don't know, give me all of your social media information, Jorge, so people can follow you. I always tell people in the community to follow each other so we can support each other. Let the world know who you are and where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm definitely on, all platforms pretty much. I'm trying to get it a little bit more. I took the summer off to be honest. Right now I just kind of I have company coming to visit me for I can actually host people in my own place, which is first time ever. So I'm just kind of feel great about that. But yes, social media. I'm on Instagram, which is Jorge Ernesto Life Coach.
Mhm.
And then on Facebook, it goes by my last name, Lozano, Lozano, uh, Jorge as well. And then through there, I have a Calendly if you'd like to just talk one-on-one and, get you going. I am a certified life coach with Jay Shetty, or not just now, and I'm an expert at childhood trauma.
That's all right. You better represent it because you are in it. And I highly recommend, because I think that you're so amazing. I do.
Thank
You
you.
all will see us collaborating. You all will see us working together. He is a huge advocate for Be VicTORIEus Foundation. And I
I
think I the most, because you not just know what I'm doing, you know my purpose, you know my leadership, you know my expertise. And I thank you so much for just supporting me all around in everything that you do. This is the perfect episode, you guys, of Be Victorious. You all know where to find me. I'm everywhere. Dr. Victorious, Be Victorious. BeVictorious.com is where you can get the book. Yes, the book is out everywhere. When I mean everywhere, everywhere. I'm working on audio, so just pray for me. But no,
Okay.
I'm out there, we're ready. And understand we can't have the conversation that we need to have with ourselves or share our story until we understand ACEs. It's time to talk about ACEs, y'all. Thank you for another episode of Be Victorious. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, you guys.